The story of Two-Eyed. There was once an old woman who had 3 daughters. The eldest daughter had 3 eyes, so she was called Three-Eyed. The youngest daughter had 1 eye, so she was called One-Eyed. The middle daughter had 2 eyes, so she was called Two-Eyed. Three-Eyed was beautiful, and One-Eyed was very clever. But Two-Eyed was plain and not clever at all. She was, however, hard-working. Her sisters hated her because she had 2 eyes like normal people, and her mother despised her because she was not special like her sisters. The mother's plan one day. The old woman decided it was time for her daughters to be married. Three-Eyed will marry a rich businessman since she is so beautiful. One-Eyed will marry an academic since she is so clever. "And who will I marry, Mother?" asked Two-Eyed. "Stupid girl," cried the mother. "You will not marry anyone. You will stay at home and look after your dear mother." So the old woman prepared her 2 favorite daughters for marriage. She painted a 2nd eye on One-Eyed's face, so it looked like she had 2. Then she made a fringe from horsehair and placed it on Three-Eyed's head to hide her 3rd eye. "There," she said. "Now who wouldn't want to marry you? The suitor arrives." A few days later, a man came to the house looking for a wife. Come in," said the old woman. "Perhaps you would like to marry my eldest daughter, who is very pretty." The man looked at Three-Eyed and shook his head. "I think not." "Well then, perhaps you would prefer my youngest daughter. She is very clever." The man looked at One-Eyed and said, "She is not my type. Where is the middle daughter?" "Oh no," said the mother. "She is ugly and stupid. You would not want to marry her." But Two-Eyed had seen the man through the window. He was handsome, so she walked into the room and smiled at him. "Ah," said the man, "this is the daughter I want to marry." No, said the mother quickly. "She does not wish to marry." But before Two-Eyed could speak, the old woman pushed the man out of the house and slammed the door. The mother and her 2 favorite daughters then turned on Two-Eyed. "You think you're clever, don't you?" sneered her mother. "But you will never marry." "Ugly girl," said Three-Eyed. "Stupid girl," said One-Eyed. Two-Eyed burst into tears and ran upstairs. The magic goat. The next day, the mother had an idea. "We will give her less food and make her work hard in the fields. She will grow thin and her skin will go rough. Nobody will ever want her then." So early the next morning, One-Eyed and Three-Eyed pulled Two-Eyed out of bed. "No breakfast for you, lazy girl," said Three-Eyed. So Two-Eyed went to the fields hungry. She worked hard as the sun rose, but after a few hours she grew very tired. Just then a goat walked up to her. "Good day, Two-Eyed," said the goat. Two-Eyed gasped. "How do you know my name? And how can you talk?" "I am no ordinary goat, just as you are no ordinary girl." "Oh, but I am ordinary," said Two-Eyed. "I am not beautiful like my eldest sister. I am not clever like my youngest sister. And I only have 2 eyes, just like everyone else." "You are special," said the goat kindly. "You just do not know it yet. But for now, you must be hungry." "Yes," sighed the girl, "but I will eat when I return home." The goat shook his head. "No, they plan to give you only scraps, but I will help you. Say these words: 'Little goat, it's time to eat.'" So Two-Eyed said, little goat, it's time to eat." At once the goat transformed into a shining white table covered with food: bread, cheese, olives, tomatoes, jams, and pickles. Two-Eyed ate until she was full. When she had finished, the goat told her, "Now say, little goat, it's time to go." The table disappeared, and the goat stood before her again. "See you tomorrow, Two-Eyed," he said, and ran away. From then on, Two-Eyed ate her fill in the fields, while at home she refused the poor food her mother offered. The sisters grow suspicious. The mother soon grew suspicious. She must be stealing food. "Tomorrow, One-Eyed, you will go with her to the fields and watch her closely." So the next morning, One-Eyed went with her sister. "Sister," said Two-Eyed, "put your head in my lap and I will sing you a song." So One-Eyed lay down, and Two-Eyed sang softly, "Sister, sister, are you awake or are you asleep? Tell me, are you awake or are you asleep?" "I am awake," answered One-Eyed. Two-Eyed sang again, more softly. Soon, One-Eye's eye closed and she fell asleep. Then Two-Eyed called the goat, feasted, and sent it away before waking her sister. When they returned home, One-Eyed admitted she had fallen asleep. The mother was furious. "You stupid girl. Tomorrow Three-Eyed will go with her." Three-Eyed betrays her. The next day, Three-Eyed went with Two-Eyed. She too lay down in her sister's lap. Two-Eyed sang the same song, and soon Two-Eyed believed her sister was asleep. But under the fringe, Three-Eyed kept her third eye open. She watched as Two-Eyed summoned the goat and feasted. That evening, she told her mother everything. The old woman was delighted. "Tomorrow we shall eat goat stew." Two-Eyed wept bitterly when she overheard, for she loved the goat. But that night she dreamed of an old man who told her, "When the goat is killed, take its horns and hooves and bury them in the ground, but make sure no one sees you." The next evening the goat was slaughtered. While her mother and sisters feasted, Two-Eyed buried the horns and hooves. The golden apple tree. The next morning, a beautiful tree stood where she had buried them. Its branches were heavy with golden apples. The mother and sisters tried to pick the apples, but the branches moved out of reach. Only when Two-Eyed reached out did the branches bend down, allowing her to pluck the golden fruit. "Do not touch these apples," warned her mother angrily, "or I will tell the village you are a witch." But Two-Eyed secretly hid one golden apple in her dress. The suitor returns. A few days later, the same handsome man returned. "I am still interested in your middle daughter," he said. "She has run away," lied the mother. But just then the man noticed the golden tree in the yard. "What a beautiful tree! Those apples look like gold. Would your lovely daughters be able to pick me some?" he asked. The mother sent One-Eyed and Three-Eyed to try, but no matter how they jumped, they could not reach a single apple. The man frowned. Strange. At that moment, Two-Eyed rolled her hidden golden apple across the floor from under the bed where she was hiding. The man bent down and picked it up. Where did this come from? From nowhere, snapped the mother. Three-Eyed must have picked it earlier, but the man saw eyes peeking from under the bed. He pulled Two-Eyed out. Ah, so she is here after all. Your mother says you do not wish to marry. Is this true? No, said Two-Eyed quickly. I would love to marry you. Wonderful, said the man. Let us go at once. No, you stupid girl, shrieked the mother. But Two-Eyed and the man did not listen. They walked out together, past the golden tree, and he took her away to be his wife. Happily ever after. Two-Eyed and her husband lived happily ever after. She was loved, cared for, and no longer mistreated. But her mother, One-Eyed and Three-Eyed, never, not once in their whole lives, were able to pluck a single golden apple from the tree